नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम 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 नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, Chapter 1, Genealogical Table of the Daughters of Manu. Text 28. Eka mayeha bhagavan vividha-pradhanais citti-krtah prajananaya katham yuyam atragatas tanu-bhrtam manaso durad bruta prasidata mahan vismayo me eko mayeha bhagavan vividha-pradhanais citti-krtah prajananaya katham yuyam atragatas tanu-bhrtam manaso durad bruta prasidata mahan vismayo me eko mayeha bhagavan vividha-pradhanais citti-krtah prajananaya katham yuyam atragatas tanu-bhrtam manaso durad bruta prasidata mahan vismayo me eko mayeha bhagavan vividha-pradhanais citti-krtah prajananaya katham yuyam atragatas tanu-bhrtam manaso durad bruta prasidata mahan vismayo me
eko mayeho bhagavan vividha-pradhanais citti-krtah prajananaya katham yuyam atragatas tanu-bhrtam manaso durad bruta prasidata mahan vismayo eko mayeho bhagavan vividha-pradhanais citti-krtah prajananaya katham yuyam atragatas tanu-bhrtam manaso durad prasidata mahan vismayo me eko mayeho bhagavan vividha-pradhanais prajananaya katham yuyam citti-krtah prajananaya katham tanu-bhrtam manaso durad.
atragatas tanu-bhrtam manaso durad.
Bruta prasidata mahan vismayo.
Bruta prasidata mahan vismayo.
एको मयो भगवान विविध-प्रधानैः
एको mayeha bhagavan vividha-pradhanais.
citti-krtah yuyam
citti-krtah yuyam.
durad
atragatas tanu-bhrtam manaso durad.
bruta prasidata mahan
Bruta prasidata mahan vismayo.
Mataji,
eko mayeha bhagavan vividha-pradhanais. citti-krtah katham. atragatas tanu-bhrtam manaso durad. Bruta prasidata mahan vismayo. eko mayeha bhagavan vividha-pradhanais. citti-krtah katham. atragatas tanu-bhrtam manaso durad. Bruta prasidata mahan vismayo.
Ekaha,
Eka
one,
one.
Maya,
Maya
by me,
by
Iha,
Yaha
here,
here
Bhagavan,
Bhagavan
great personality,
great personality.
vividha,
Vividha
various,
various
pradhanahi,
pradhanais.
the paraphernalia, citti-krtah,
citti-krtah
fixed in mind,
fixed in mind.
prajananaya,
Prajananaya
for begetting a child,
for begetting child.
katham,
Katham
why,
why
nu,
nu
however,
however
yuyam,
yuyam
all of you,
all of you
atra,
atra
here,
here
agataha,
agata
appeared,
appeared.
tanu-bhrtam,
tanu-bhrtam
of the embodied,
of the body.
manasaha,
Manasa
the mind,
mind.
api,
Api
although,
although
durad,
durad
from far beyond,
from far beyond.
bruta,
Bruta
kindly explain,
kindly explain.
prasidata,
Prasidata
being merciful to me,
being merciful to me.
mahan,
Mahan
very great,
very great.
iha,
Yaha
this,
this
vismayaha,
vismayo
doubt,
doubt
may,
may
of mine.
mind.
Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. I called for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, desiring a son like him. And I thought of him only. But although he is far beyond the mental speculation of man, all three of you have come here. Kindly let me know how you have come, for I am greatly bewildered about this. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Atri Muni was confidently aware that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Lord of the universe. So he prayed for the Supreme Lord. He was surprised, therefore, that three of them appeared. So, it's a very short purport also. So I'll read through the next couple of verses. Text 29 reads, Maitreya uvacha iti tasya vacha srutva trayaste vividhar shabha prattahu lakshanaya vacha prahasya tam rishing prabhu. The great sage Maitreya continued, upon hearing Atri Muni speak in that way, the three great deities smiled and they replied in the following sweet words. Deva uchu jatha kutaste sankalpa bhavang tenaiva nannatha sat sankalpasate brahman jadvai dhayati devayam. The three deities told Atri Muni, Dear Brahmana, you are perfect in your determination, and therefore as you have decided, so it will happen. It will not happen otherwise. We are all the same person upon whom you are meditating, and therefore we have all come to you. Please repeat after me. The three deities told Atri Muni.
The three deities told Atri Muni,
Dear Brahmana,
Dear Brahmana,
you are perfect in your determination,
you are perfect in your determination,
and therefore as you have decided,
and therefore as you have decided,
so it will happen.
so it will happen.
It will not happen otherwise.
It will not happen otherwise.
We are all the same person
We are all the same person
upon whom you are meditating,
upon whom you are meditating,
and therefore we have all come to you.
and therefore we have all come to you.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Atri Muni unspecifically thought of the personality of Godhead, the Lord of the universe. Although he had no clear idea of the Lord of the universe, nor of his specific form, Mahavishnu, from whose breathing millions of universes emanate, and into whom they are all again withdrawn, may be accepted as the Lord of the universe. Garbhodakshai Vishnu, from whose abdomen sprouted the lotus flower, which is the birthplace of Brahma, may also be considered the Lord of the universe. Similarly, Kshirodakshai Vishnu, who is the super soul of all living entities, may also be considered the Lord of the universe. Then, under the order of Kshirodakshai Vishnu, the Vishnu from within the universe, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, may also be accepted as the Lord of the universe. Vishnu is the Lord of the universe because he is the maintainer. Similarly, Brahma creates the different planetary systems and the population, so he also may be considered the Lord of the universe. Or Lord Shiva, who is ultimately the destroyer of the universe, also may be considered its Lord. Therefore, since Atri Muni did not specifically mention whom he wanted, all three, Brahma, Vishnu, and Lord Shiva, came before him. They said, since you are thinking of having a son exactly like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord of the universe, your determination will be fulfilled. In other words, one's determination is fulfilled according to the strength of one's devotion. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita 9.25, Janti deva bruta devan pitrin jantri pritibrataha. If one is attached to a particular demigod, one is promoted to the abode of that demigod. If one is attached to the pitas or forefathers, one is promoted to their planet. And similarly, if one is attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, one is promoted to the abode of Lord Krishna. Atri Muni had no clear conception of the Lord of the universe. Therefore, the three presiding deities were actually the lords of the universe in the three departments of the modes of nature called nature. All came before him. Now, according to the strength of his determination for a son, his desire would be fulfilled by the grace of the Lord. Deva uchu jatha kutaste sankalpo bhavang tenaiva nannatha sat sankalpasya te brahman jadvai dhayati te vayam. The three deities told Atri Muni, Dear Brahmana, you are perfect in your determination, and therefore, as you have decided, so it will happen. It will not happen otherwise. We are all the same person upon whom you are meditating, and therefore we have all come to you. So, so the three personalities that appeared in front of Atri Muni, Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwar are responding to his query, to his question. They are telling him that since you asked for the Lord of the universe without specifically identifying whom you actually addressed, that's why we all three of us have come. So, in a way, these three are the lords, because they three are controlling three different aspects of the universal affair. The one aspect is creation, the other is maintenance and annihilation. And for these three different aspects, the three personalities are responsible. For creation, Brahma is responsible. For maintenance, Vishnu is responsible. And for annihilation, Lord Shiva is responsible. So they all three can be considered as the Lord of the universe. Brahma created, so yes, he is the Lord of the universe. And Lord Shiva will destroy, so he is also the Lord of the universe. But the original Lord of the universe is Vishnu. Now, here one thing is becoming very clear, that in order to understand the Lord of the universe as he is, we need some guidance. Just Lord of the universe, like what Atri did, he obviously, when he addressed or he prayed to the Lord, when he meditated upon him, when he performed so much austerities, he was kind of addressing an unknown person. All that he was doing, not to a specific, for the sake of a specific person. He was doing that to an unknown person. He knew that he is a person, but he didn't know who he was. So from this, one thing becomes clear, that in order to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we need proper guidance. We need a spiritual master, we need a guru. And the guru tells who is the Supreme Personality. Just as Srila Prabhupada did to us. Before coming in contact with Srila Prabhupada, many of us were impersonalists. Maybe most of us were impersonalists. We accepted God is there, but most of us thought that God is not a person. He is an energy. We simply thought him as an energy. Light. Or something like that. And from that energy, our understanding was from that energy came the person. So originally it is the energy and then the persons. And who are those persons? Those persons are all the other living entities, starting from the demigods. And many of us thought that these forms of the Lord are imaginary. He doesn't actually exist. We imagine. All the demigods, the form of the demigods, even the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is imaginary. Mayeha. But ultimately we'll go beyond these imaginary forms and then we'll realize that the ultimate absolute truth is an energy, Brahma Jyoti. But then Srila Prabhupada came, and what did Prabhupada teach us? Prabhupada said, no, energy is there. The whole creation came from an energy. That is true. Everything happened from the energy. But beyond that energy, there must be a source of that energy. Beyond the energy, there must be energetic. Who is that energetic? Prabhupada very clearly gave us the understanding. The energetic is Krishna. The energy is the material nature, or you can say energy is Brahma Jyoti, from whom the whole creation became manifest. Sarvam Khallidam Brahma. Everything has manifested from Brahma. But what is that manifestation? That is material manifestation. Brahma is the cause of material manifestation. But beyond Brahma, there is Param Brahma, the Supreme Brahma. The Supreme Brahma is the source of Brahma Jyoti. Like Krishna is the energetic and Brahman, Brahma Jyoti is Krishna's bodily effulgence. The light, Jyoti, that is coming from Krishna's body is Brahma Jyoti. And then Prabhupada gave all the information, like leading to Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. And here we are getting a clear understanding in Srimad Bhagavatam. Very systematically, very scientific understanding, which before we came across Srimad Bhagavatam, before we received the teachings of Srila Prabhupada, did not have any understanding. When you talk to people, you see that they have so many misconceptions. So many misconceptions. Like often we find that so many people consider that some person is God. And that misconception is there because they don't have any knowledge. So easily they accept somebody to be God without actually knowing who is the Supreme Personality of God. But when we read Bhagavad Gita, then the understanding becomes clear. And then we can say, no, these people cannot be God. Bhagavad Gita gives a very specific understanding. Say, for example, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is speaking very clearly. Imam vivashyate yogam praktavanaha. This knowledge I gave, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita that he started to give in the 4th chapter, he's saying, I gave this knowledge to Vivashwan, sun god. Then Vivaswan gave it to Manu, his son. Manu gave it to Ikshaku, his son. And in this way, evang parampara praptam imam rajarshaya. Then when we look at it, like can this person, this Baba or this Ma, can they say that? Imam vivashyate yogam praktavanaha. These people are claiming that they are God, but can any one of them say, I gave this knowledge to Vivashwan? First of all, they do not know what the knowledge is. If they had the knowledge, then they would never have claimed themselves to be God. If they had the knowledge, then they would have become the servants of God. Because they don't have the knowledge, they are spreading this misconception. That's why one thing is very, very clear from the Vedic understanding. If you want to have the right knowledge, you have to have a bona fide spiritual master. Without a bona fide spiritual master, you cannot have the knowledge. As I mentioned many times, without a bona fide spiritual master, without a bona fide teacher, you cannot have the knowledge. Like for example, if your teacher did not know English language, could he teach you that even ABCD? Huh? He may have been a Pandit in Hindi, but if he didn't know English, then he couldn't have taught you even ABCD of English. Because he himself didn't know. But somebody who may not be such a big scholar, but knows very simple English, he can teach you, oh, this is A, this is B, and you have the right understanding. Right? So the specific knowledge must have from a specific source. Knowledge must have a specific source. When you go to school, we are studying different subjects. Now the subjects that are being taught, they know the subject. The teachers know the subject. Like a person who is teaching history, he has a degree in history himself. If he didn't have history, knowledge in history, he couldn't teach history. The science teacher do not teach art subject, isn't it? The science teacher teaches only science subject. Arts teachers teach only the art subject. So there are specific branches of knowledge, and whoever has the knowledge, he is qualified to teach. Similarly, the knowledge about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the spiritual knowledge, must be received from a teacher who has the spiritual. And the person who has the knowledge, he teaches from a specific book, curriculum, from the syllabus. And our syllabus for the study is Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nectar of Devotion, Ishopanishad. So these are the books that we study from. And Srila Prabhupada gave us these books. It's not that Srila Prabhupada invented those books. The books were there, Srila Prabhupada made it available to us according to our understanding, and that is Prabhupada's presentation. Prabhupada is not saying that, well, I wrote Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada is telling us Bhagavad Gita has been spoken by Krishna, and this is the understanding of Bhagavad Gita. That's what Prabhupada is giving us. Bhaktivedanta Purport is simply giving us the real understanding of Bhagavad Gita. Now, this is the difference. Now somebody says, I am God. And then he teaches Bhagavad Gita. Now, what will he say? His teaching will be, when he says, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, and he will say, Aham Uvacha. He is not recognizing Krishna. That's why they don't touch Bhagavad Gita. Their teaching is not based on Bhagavad Gita. They don't teach their students the subject of Bhagavad Gita. They may be carrying a Bhagavad Gita for show. But they don't teach from Bhagavad Gita. If they taught, then it would become very, very clear. Teaching of Bhagavad Gita is Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Krishna is saying, Aham sarvasya prabhava, matta sarvam prabhavati. Everything comes from me and everything is resting in me. Now can I say, Aham sarvasya prabhava? Can I say, matta sarvam prabhavati? I must be crazy if I say something like that. So this is how it becomes clear that the real understanding makes us understand real qualified teacher teaches us the right understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. So here, Atri Muni, although a very powerful personality, can you imagine how powerful he is? He's son of Brahma. He's son of Brahma, and and here, in order to get the son, he is actually performing the austerities because he wanted to have a son who is as powerful as the Supreme Personality of God. And in actually, what happened is he was thinking that Brahma is actually the Supreme Personality because Brahma is his father, and he sees that Brahma is the creator. But his understanding was vague. Although he was thinking that Brahma is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but at the same time he was thinking that maybe I am not correct. So maybe, so because of his hesitation, then he also was probably reflecting on Lord Shiva. So in his mind, because he was considering who is the real Supreme Personality of Godhead, all three of them came to him. The same thing with Narad Muni. Narad Muni, one day he saw his father, Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma was meditating, and the tears coming from his eyes. In his meditation, there were tears from his eyes. And his body, the hairs in his body were standing. And he was trembling. His body was trembling, shivering from time to time. So Narad could see that his father was experiencing some ecstasy. He's meditating upon somebody, and meditating upon that personality, he's experiencing this joy, the internal joy. So when Brahma came to his external senses, Narada asked, who are you meditating upon? I thought that you are the Supreme Person. There was no one beyond you. And that understanding was quite clear, quite natural, because who is there beyond Brahma in this universe? Brahma is the first created being. Who is the greatest person in the universe? Not Brahma. And they are his children. He said, oh, you are the greatest. So then Brahma said, no. Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of God, is the greatest. I am only his servant. And that is how Brahma gave Srimad Bhagavatam to Narad Muni. Bhagavatam means understanding about Bhagavan, understanding about the Supreme Personality of God. So this is how Narad understood Vishnu or Krishna from Lord Brahma. But Atri Muni did not have that good fortune so far. There are two paramparas. One parampara is Bhagavat parampara, and the other parampara is the Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda aspect of Srimad, of the Veda. Bhagavat parampara is coming from Narad. And the ritualistic and the materialistic aspect of the Vedas is coming from the other great personalities from Brahma. So Atri Muni and others were in that parampara. Bhagavat parampara is specifically coming from Brahma to Narada. The materialistic development, karma kanda, and liberation aspect from material bondage is Jnana. That is another parampara. So here we can see that Atri Muni did not have the understanding of who was the Supreme Personality of Godhead, But he wanted to have a son from that Supreme Personality of Godhead. So three personalities appear. And because he desired to have a son from the greatest personality, from the Jagadishvara, the Lord of the universe, they three appeared and they three gave him the benediction. Okay, we will manifest ourselves as our partial incarnations as his children. And as a result of that, Somdev or moon god, Dattatreya and Durvasa as the son of Atri. Thank you very much. Does anybody have any question? Yes. Hmm? Narad Muni? Yeah. Yeah. Narad Muni?
He's taking the Brahma is the Lord of the universe.
Yeah. Okay.
How is that for it?
He thought that Brahma is the greatest, but he did not want to get married because he wanted to, at that time, wanted to surrender himself to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He didn't want to get married because he knew that getting married means getting into trouble. That's why he didn't want to get married. Getting married means getting involved in materialistic affairs. So he said, I don't want to get married. I rather remain free to think about, to be philosophically. But at that time he didn't have any understanding of Krishna. Because Janmana Jayate Sudra, although in his previous life he saw Vishnu, Narayan. But in this life, as he was born, that understanding was not there. It was dormant. It was covered. But when Brahma spoke to him, then he remembered. Sanskarat bhavati. One needs a spiritual master to receive transcendental knowledge. Otherwise, everyone is in ignorance in this material. That's why when Krishna himself comes, he takes initiation. Because it's from the Guru that Om Ajnanati Mirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya. The transcendental knowledge is revealed by the mercy of the Guru. Yes. Some performance
to Lord Shiva. So
Yeah.
that they can have good time in the end of life.
Good time at the end of life.
So this is the idea.
Very good. That's good. That is good. Lord Shiva is Mangalmay. He brings auspicious. So, if one surrenders to Lord Shiva, he becomes free from material distress, material difficulties. That is there. But when one fully surrenders to Lord Shiva and asks him, please show me the way, then what will Lord Shiva say? Lord Shiva will say, become a devotee of Vishnu. Because I myself am a devotee of Vishnu. So become a devotee of Vishnu. Become a devotee of Krishna. But those who don't want to go that far, actually, je jatha mang prapaddanti. As one desires, accordingly he gets the result. Like if you go to the bank and write a check for 100 rupees, will the bank give you 1,000 rupees? Although bank has many millions of rupees. But since you desired 100 rupees, bank will say, okay, take 100 rupees. Right? So similarly, when the way we desire, accordingly we get the result. If somebody says dhanam dehi, janam dehi, etc., then the Lord will say, take dhanam, take janam. He won't say, take bhakti. No. Because they are asking dhanam, janam, why the Lord will give them bhakti? But when one desires to serve the Lord, when one desires to become a devotee of the Lord, then the Lord will say, okay, take it. Hare Krishna. We got it printed out. How did you get it printed? Downstairs? So, there is some question. What is his name? Anyway, the name I can't. Whoever wrote it, write the names properly. Thank you very much for such wonderful class. We see how Narad was fortunate to observe ecstasy of Brahma, but not the same case with Atri Muni. Is there some reason behind it? Yes, as I mentioned, that their goal was materialistic involvement. Prajapatis, the other 9 sons of Brahma, including Atri Muni, their business was materialistic development, the development of the universe. Therefore, they were busy in that activity. They say, okay, father wanted us to have children, so let's go and have children. But Narad said, no children, no wife, no marriage. Lifelong brahmachari. Why? Because we want. In the depth of his heart, he actually intended to have Krishna. In his previous life, Krishna told him. Narayan told him, Narad Muni in his previous life, he performed great austerities. You remember the story of Narad Muni's previous life? How many of you do not know? If you don't know, then I won't tell you the story. But if you know, everybody knows? Everybody knows. Okay, then there is no need to tell this. So Narad Muni was blessed by the Lord that he would, in his next life, he would become a devotee. And so as a result of that, Narad Muni was born as the son of Brahma. But Atri Muni's goal was different, that's why he was not. The best way to make people understand that Krishna is God, to give them a book of Srila Prabhupada. The question is the best way to make people understand that Krishna is God, to give them a book of Srila Prabhupada? Yes, best way to make them understand is by giving them books of Srila Prabhupada. But if possible, you also tell them what is written in Prabhupada's books. Prabhupada himself said, I'm not writing the books for you to distribute only. I am writing the books for you to read also. So you read the books, you understand the teachings of the books, and then you give the books, and along with that you give them the teachings of the books also. And Prabhupada jokingly said also that you give them the books, and then they ask, then they ask you what is written in the book. Then you say, well, I don't know, you read it. You read and find out what's written in the book. No, we should read the books and we should preach from the books and then give the books so that they can further study the books and get a more clear understanding. Yes, yes, Krishna. Hmm. Okay, anasuya means who is non-envious. Asuya means envy. And anasuya means non-envious. But the name Atri, I don't remember the meaning of the word Atri. There must be a meaning, I can check it out. Yes, Krishna Arjun.
So when the spiritual master speaks, sometimes protecting the that's all about this. It might find it more difficult to maintain things. That's why I said
Yeah, that will depend upon. The question is, when the spiritual master is present, then one feels natural enthusiasm and inspiration. But when the spiritual master is not present, then a less advanced devotee does not really feel that kind of inspiration. So what should be done? That's your question. uh, become more advanced and become more advanced and maintain the enthusiasm, knowing that the spiritual master is always present. Right? So that's the only way. We have to become more advanced. At a less advanced stage, yes, we do not feel so enthusiastic, but still we have to continue with our sadhana bhakti, practicing devotional service. And by practicing devotional service, as we become advanced, then we recognize, then we understand the fact that the spiritual master is always there. Through his instruction, he is there. As the super soul, he is there. And ultimately, who is the spiritual master? Krishna himself is the spiritual master. So how can we say the spiritual master is not there? As the super soul, Krishna is always there. And what we need is actually the guidance. What we need from spiritual master is guidance and teaching. So you see, in his Vani, in his instructions, again, instructions are non-different from the books. Right? In his Vani, the instructions are there. Or in his Vani, the understanding is there. So actually, why do we need spiritual master? We need a spiritual master to learn. So we have questions and the spiritual master will answer the questions. And this is how we get the knowledge. So if we ask questions and the answers are always there. Sometimes we remember them, sometimes by reading we understand. Right? And then if we have questions and if we recognize that the spiritual master is there in the heart, then we can ask him and he will answer. Right? So directly he will answer. So that is how the spiritual master is always there. And that is how an advanced devotee never feels separated from the spiritual master. Okay, thank you all very much. All glories to Srila. Gaur Premanand.